Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my first book recommendation. I'm going to the beach in 2 weeks, so I definitely want to take some books to read on the sand with maybe a margarita in my hand, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be doing that too. So these are the best of the best 5 books that I definitely recommend to take to the beach. They're quick reads, you can finish them in a week. And they're super entertaining and for the most part lighthearted. Some of them are a little bit more serious, but just very good things to read at the beach. So if you guys have any great book recommendations, please leave them down below. First up, I love this book so much. I read it like 3 times. Something Borrowed by Emily Giffin a few years ago. The movie actually came out and the movie was very, very good. This is chick lit, but it's very well written. It's kind of like metaphoric. I just love the voice of Rachel, the main character, and her story is very relatable, I think, to any girl really. Rachel's kind of like the girl next door. She went to law school, she's smart, she's focused on her career, she has kind of like average looks, but her lifelong best friend Darcy is really pretty, and she's always been kind of lucky, and she ended up getting engaged to this guy Dex, who is a lawyer, and he's really smart and attractive. And the funny thing is, Rachel was friends with him first, and Rachel and Dex kind of get along better than Darcy and Dex do. And eventually at Rachel's like 30th birthday party, like it's crazy because like Dex like goes home with Rachel and they end up like having sex. And so like that's like the big inciting incident for the whole book. And over time, Rachel like begins to realize that maybe the reason why Darcy's so lucky isn't necessarily because she's actually lucky, but because of like the assertiveness that she goes after her life with. And so Rachel begins to kind of gain more confidence and put some assertiveness into her own life. But that's not until like the very end of the book. And it's very, very good. It's very entertaining and relatable, and I love it. My next book that I recommend is by John Green. It's called Paper Towns. I love everything John Green's ever written. This is more of a like lighter, it's still very traditional John Green. It's a high school romance, it's YAF, and the main character Quentin has always lived next door to this girl Margot Roth Spielman, and he considers that his miracle, his lucky break, and the whole story is kind of about him like falling in love with Margot, and Margot disappears and they go on a road trip to find her. And it's very funny because they're like on the highway and there's nowhere to stop to go pee, and they have to pee in a cup, and that's just a funny, cute little part that I really like. But this is very good. You'll probably finish this in like a few days if you really love to read. Next up, we have Fierce by Raisman, and if you want more of a comprehensive review of this, you can check out my blog. I'll leave the link down below. I actually did a written book review of this as well because I really, really like this. I cried whenever I read it. It's just so inspirational. Allie talks about training at the ranch for Worlds and the Olympics. She is a 3-time Olympic gold medalist, including the floor exercise and 2 team golds, and she's just very strong and courageous and outspoken. I love her stance on like body issues and just women empowerment and like standing up for other people. But it's like not an in-your-face kind of like standing up for things. It's like it's very genuine. And of course she does talk about the whole scandal with USA Gymnastics and Larry Nassar, but that's not really the focus of this. The focus is you know, Allie's courage and going after her dreams and the confidence she portrays. And she portrays this confidence through talking about her insecurities and kind of how she overcame that. So I find this book very, very inspirational. I think it's a great book for any young woman. I love The Help. It's one of my all-time favorite books. It's a little bit more serious because of some of the issues it deals with. I believe it was set in like the 1960s, yeah. So it kind of talks about the South in the 1960s and some of the issues dealing with race. So it can be like more on the serious side, but the main character, Skeeter, is extremely relatable. Her relationship with her mother is kind of complicated, and I've kind of felt that way in my own life sometimes. And Skeeter's relationship with her looks and eventually meeting a guy and falling for him. And I find that like very relatable, and I love Catherine Stockett's writing style. It's really hard to believe that this book got rejected 60 times before she found a literary agent. She has a very humorous writing style. It's very personable, and it is a bit longer, but it's another book that's a real page turner. Finally, for all the science fiction fans out there, I'm going to recommend The Program by Suzanne Young. The Program is, oh my gosh, it's so intense, it's so exciting, and it's definitely controversial, and it really makes you think. It's about like this suicide epidemic that happens in America in the future, and the story takes place around the main character Sloane and her boyfriend James, and the relationship, and they have to run from the program. And so what happens is when you become like infected and your mind becomes sick, and so the government tries to stop these teenage suicide epidemics by basically institutionalizing people and wiping their memories clear and making them start all over again, and they become without feeling and they don't remember their past. And so they're on the run from the program. They're trying not to let it happen to James, and it's pretty darn intense. And if you really like this, there's a sequel too called The Treatment. So these are 5 books that I've loved reading that I think are perfect for the beach, and I can't wait to go there in 2 weeks. So thanks so much for watching. I'll link my Ali Raisman book review down below, and I hope you guys have a great time at the beach, and leave your recommendations for your best summer book reads down below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.